Rain poured heavily over the city. Una Grace pulled her thin jacket closer as she hurried down the street, her shoes already soaked. The cold didn't bother her anymore. She was used to discomfort. What she wasn't used to, was what she saw next. An elderly woman collapsed near the roadside. People passed. Some glanced. None stopped. Una froze for a second. Then ran. "Ma'am. Can you hear me?" She knelt beside her, lifting her gently despite the rain soaking both of them. The woman's hand was cold. Too cold. Una's heart tightened. "Please, stay with me." She waved for help, but no one came. So she did it herself. The hospital lights were too bright. Too cold. Una sat quietly beside the bed, her clothes still damp, her eyes heavy with exhaustion. The doctor approached her. "She's stable now." Una let out a breath slowly. Then came the bill. Her fingers tightened slightly. It was more than she had. But she didn't hesitate. "I'll pay part of it now." That night, she stayed. Adjusting the blanket. Checking her temperature. Whispering softly whenever the woman stirred. Not because she had to. But because she couldn't walk away. Morning came quietly. The elderly woman opened her eyes slowly. Una noticed immediately. "You're awake," the woman looked at her. Confused. Then soft. Una smiled gently. "You're safe now." The woman's voice was weak. "Why, did you help me?" Una hesitated. Then said simply, "You needed help." By the time the nurse returned, Una was gone. No name. No number. Nothing. 3 days later, a black luxury car stopped in front of the small restaurant where Una worked. Everyone noticed. Including her. A man stepped out. "Miss Una Grace?" She blinked. "Yes?" "You've been requested." The mansion gates opened slowly. Una stepped out of the car, her eyes widening slightly. Inside, everything felt quiet. Controlled. Powerful. And then, she saw her. The woman from the hospital. Now elegant. Commanding. "Come closer," she said. Una obeyed. "You saved me." Una shook her head. "It was nothing, it was not nothing." The woman's voice was calm but firm. Then she turned. "Ethan." Una followed her gaze. And saw him. Tall. Cold. Unbothered. Ethan Kong. "Grandmother," he said, "why am I here?" The woman smiled slightly. "I want you to marry her." Silence. Una's heart skipped. What? Ethan frowned. "That's absurd." But his grandmother didn't move. "She saved my life. I trust her." Ethan looked at Una again. Longer this time. Then stepped forward. "Come with me." They stood alone in a quiet hallway. Una's voice came quickly. "This doesn't make sense. I'm not the kind of person, I know exactly what kind of person you are." His tone was calm. "Certain. This will be a contract marriage." Una blinked. No emotions. No expectations. She shook her head. "I can't do that." Ethan watched her. Then said, "I'll cover your debts." She froze. "I'll take care of your mother." Her breath caught. "And after 1 year, you're free." Silence. Una looked down. Then slowly, "Okay." The wedding was quiet. Fast. No celebration. Just signatures. And silence. That night, Una sat in the car beside her new husband. Neither spoke. Until, we're not going to the mansion. She turned. Then where? Home. The apartment door opened. Small. Simple. Nothing like she expected. Yuna stepped inside slowly. Confused. You said you were rich, Ethan removed his coat calmly. I'm not. Yuna stood in the middle of the room. A strange feeling settling inside her. This wasn't the life she imagined. But somehow, it felt real. Behind her, Ethan watched quietly. For the first time, interested. Morning light slipped through the thin curtains. Yuna woke first. For a moment, she forgot everything. Then she saw him. Ethan stood by the window, already dressed, his back to her. Quiet. Distant. Like the night before never happened. You're awake, he said without turning. Yuna sat up slowly. Do you always wake up this early? Habit. His voice was calm. Controlled. She nodded, unsure what to say. The silence stretched. Then he added, there's food in the kitchen. Simple. Direct. But when she got there, she paused. The food was already prepared. Not perfect. Slightly messy. But warm. Yuna stared at it, surprised. Behind her, Ethan spoke again. I tried. She turned, caught off guard. He didn't look at her. But for a second, she smiled. Days passed. The apartment slowly changed. Not in appearance, but in feeling. Yuna's laughter began to fill the space. Soft at first. Then natural. Ethan started coming home earlier. Sitting closer. Watching her when she wasn't looking. One evening, Yuna stood on a chair trying to fix a loose bulb. Careful, Ethan said from behind. I'm fine, the chair shifted slightly. Before she could fall, his hand caught her waist. Firm. Steady. She gasped softly. Their faces were suddenly close. Too close. Neither moved. His grip remained for a second longer than necessary. Then he slowly let go. You're not fine, he said quietly. Yuna's heart raced long after she stepped down. Later that night, rain started again. The power went out. Darkness filled the room. Ethan? Yuna's voice was low. A hand found her wrist. Warm. Steady. I'm here. He didn't let go. They stood in the dark, closer than before. Breathing in sync. Don't move, he said softly. This time, she didn't pull away. She stayed. And for the first time, she felt safe with him. The next day, Yuna met her best friend. Mira Han. Stylish. Confident. Sharp-eyed. Wait, you're married? Mira stared at her across the table. Since when? It's complicated, Yuna replied quietly. Mira leaned forward. He better be treating you right. Yuna hesitated. Then nodded. He tries. Mira narrowed her eyes. I don't like that answer. But then she smiled slightly. I'll meet him. Yuna laughed nervously. Maybe not yet. Mira crossed her arms. Oh, I will. That same day, at a towering glass building, Ethan walked through the lobby. Instantly, the atmosphere shifted. Employees bowed slightly. Good morning, sir. He didn't respond. His expression cold again. Untouchable. Inside the executive office, she was waiting. Sophia Blake. Elegant. Composed. Dangerous in the quietest way. You disappeared, she said smoothly. Ethan walked past her. I was busy. She turned, watching him. Busy getting married? He stopped. Silence. Then slowly faced her. Watch your tone. Sophia smiled faintly. So it's true. Her eyes sharpened. Who is she? Ethan didn't answer. That told her enough. That evening, Ethan returned home. Una was in the kitchen again. Humming softly. He paused at the door. Just watched her. Something in his chest tightened. You're late, she said without turning. He stepped in. Work. She nodded. You should eat first. He moved closer. Stood beside her. Not distant this time. You waited, he asked. Una shrugged lightly. It's normal. Ethan looked at her. Really looked. Then said quietly, it's not normal for me. She turned slightly. Their eyes met again. And for a moment, neither spoke. The next day, Mira showed up unannounced. I came to inspect this husband of yours, she said boldly as she stepped inside. Una panicked slightly. Mira, but it was too late. Ethan walked out of the room. Their eyes met. Mira paused. Just for a second. Then smiled. So you're the husband. Ethan gave a small nod. Ethan. Mira studied him carefully. You don't look poor. Una froze. Ethan didn't react. Looks can be misleading, he said calmly. Mira smirked. I'll be watching you. Ethan replied, you're welcome to try. Una sighed softly. But something about the tension felt oddly balanced. Meanwhile, Sophia made her move. She visited the apartment building. Watched from a distance. Saw Una leaving. Simple clothes. Simple life. Her lips curved slightly. This, she murmured. This is what you chose? Her eyes hardened. We'll see how long it lasts. That evening, Una and Ethan walked home together. A quiet street. Soft lights. Comfortable silence. Una spoke first. Can I ask you something? You always do, he replied. She hesitated. Have you ever liked someone before? Ethan paused. Just briefly. No, Una looked surprised. Not even once? He shook his head. Then added, more quietly, I never had a reason to. She didn't respond immediately. Then said softly, that's a little sad. Ethan looked at her. Is it? Una nodded. Everyone should have someone. Silence. Then he said, almost under his breath, maybe. They stopped walking. Standing face to face. Close again. The air shifted. Una's heart beat faster. Ethan looked like he wanted to say something. But didn't. Instead, he reached out, slowly, and adjusted her hair where the wind had moved it. A small gesture. But intimate. Una froze. He pulled his hand back. Too quickly this time. It's late, he said. She nodded. But neither moved for a second longer than they should have. From across the street, Sophia watched everything. Her expression unreadable. But her eyes cold. Calculating. Now I understand, she whispered. She's the weakness. Morning came with a strange tension. Una felt it before she understood it. Ethan was already gone. No message. No note. Just silence. She stood in the kitchen, staring at the empty space where he usually stood. Something felt different. Heavy. At the company, Ethan sat in a board meeting. Executives spoke. Numbers moved. Decisions were made. But his attention drifted. Sir, someone called. He looked up sharply. Continue, he said coldly. But his mind wasn't there. Sophia watched him from across the table. Calm. Observing. You're distracted, she said later when they were alone. Ethan didn't respond. She stepped closer. This marriage of yours. It's affecting you. He turned slightly. That's none of your concern. Sophia smiled faintly. Everything about you is my concern. His eyes hardened. That's where you're wrong. That afternoon, Una received a message. A location. No name. Just a time. She hesitated, then went. The cafe was quiet. Elegant. Out of place for her. Sophia sat by the window, already waiting. Sit, she said calmly. Una remained standing for a second. Then slowly sat down. Sophia studied her. From head to toe. So this is her, she murmured. Una stayed silent. Do you know who your husband is? Sophia asked. Una frowned slightly. He's my husband. Sophia smiled, amused. That's not what I asked. She leaned forward slightly. Ethan Kong is not poor. Una's fingers tightened under the table. He's the heir to one of the largest conglomerates in this city. Silence. Una shook her head. No, Sophia's smile didn't fade. You really didn't know. She sat back. How disappointing. Una stood up immediately. You're lying. Sophia's voice followed her. Then ask him. Una walked out. Fast. Her heart racing. Her thoughts loud. No. It didn't make sense. Ethan wouldn't lie. Not like that. But when she got home. She stopped. Outside the apartment building. A line of black luxury cars. Men in suits. Waiting. Her steps slowed. The door opened. And Ethan stepped out. Not in simple clothes. But in a perfectly tailored suit. Commanding. Untouchable. Sir, the board is waiting, one of the men said. Una's world tilted. Ethan turned. And saw her. Silence. Everything froze. Her voice came out barely steady. Who are you? No answer. That was her answer. Her eyes filled. You lied to me. Ethan stepped forward. Una. Don't. Her voice broke. Don't come closer. The distance between them suddenly felt too wide. You made me believe, she struggled to finish. You made me fall for someone who doesn't exist. Ethan's expression shifted. For the first time, uncertain. I am still that person, he said. No, she shook her head. Tears falling now. That person doesn't lie like this. Silence. Heavy. Painful. Why? She asked softly. Why didn't you just tell me the truth? Ethan's voice lowered. Because I wanted something real. Her laugh was quiet. Broken. And lying made it real? He had no answer. That silence hurt more than anything. Una stepped back. One step. Then another. I can't do this, she whispered. Then she turned. And walked away. Ethan didn't stop her. Not because he didn't want to. But because he didn't know how. For the first time in his life. He had no control. Una arrived home late. Her mother opened the door. One look. And she knew. What happened? Mrs. Grace asked softly. Una shook her head. I was wrong, she said quietly. Her mother held her. No questions. Just warmth. You're not wrong for loving someone, her mother said gently. Una closed her eyes. But I was wrong about him. The next day, Sophia visited Ethan. You should end it, she said calmly. Before it becomes a bigger problem. Ethan didn't look at her. It's already a problem, he replied. Sophia stepped closer. You don't need her. That made him look up. His voice dropped. Yes. I do. Silence. That was the first time he admitted it. Even to himself. Una tried to return to her normal life. Work. Routine. Pretending nothing changed. But everything had. Every place reminded her of him. Every small moment. His voice. His presence. The way he looked at her. She clenched her hands. Trying to hold herself together. Mira found her that evening. You're not okay, she said immediately. Una forced a smile. I'm fine. Mira didn't believe her. Tell me everything. And Una did. Everything. When she finished, Myra's expression darkened. He lied to you, she said firmly. Una nodded. But, she hesitated. Mira noticed. But what? Una looked down. I still miss him. Silence. Mira sighed softly. That's the worst part, isn't it? That night, Ethan stood alone in the apartment. The same space. Now empty. He looked around. Everything still there. But different. Cold. He walked into the kitchen. Saw the cup she always used. Still on the table. Untouched. His jaw tightened. For the first time. He felt it clearly. Loss. Real. Unavoidable. Across the city. Sophia watched from her office window. Calm. Collected. This is where it ends, she said quietly. But she was wrong. Because something had already changed. Something she couldn't control. Back in her small room. Una stared at her phone. No message. No call. Nothing. Her heart tightened again. But this time. She didn't cry. She just whispered softly. Why does it still hurt? The city moved on. Cars passed. Lights changed. People laughed. But for Ethan, everything felt paused. He stood in his office, staring at the skyline, untouched files spread across his desk. Sir, the shareholders are waiting, his assistant said carefully. Ethan didn't move. Cancel it. The assistant hesitated. Sir? Ethan turned slightly, his voice calm but firm. I said cancel it. This time, there was no argument. Across the city, Una worked quietly. She smiled when needed. Spoke when required. But her eyes had changed. The warmth was still there, but dimmer. Controlled. Her boss called her name twice before she responded. Sorry, she said softly. You need rest, he told her. She nodded. But rest wasn't the problem. Mira watched everything. You're still thinking about him, she said bluntly as they walked together. Una didn't deny it. I just don't understand why it still hurts. Mira sighed. Because you didn't just lose him. You lost what you thought was real. Una swallowed slowly. But it felt real. Mira looked at her gently. Then maybe part of it was. That evening, Una returned home. Her mother was waiting. He came, Mrs. Gray said quietly. Una stopped. Her heart skipped. When? Earlier. Silence filled the room. What did he say? Her mother smiled faintly. Nothing much. Just stood there for a while. Yuna's chest tightened. And then? He said he would come back. Night fell again. Ethan stood outside Yuna's house. No suit this time. No car. Just him. He looked at the door. Then away. Then back again. For the first time. He felt nervous. He raised his hand to knock. Paused. Then finally. Knocked. The door opened. Yuna stood there. Silent. Still. Their eyes met. Everything they didn't say filled the space between them. You came, she said softly. I said I would, he replied. Silence again. Then. Can we talk, he asked. She stepped aside. He walked in. The same small space. But this time. He didn't feel above it. He felt humbled by it. Yuna stood across from him. Keeping distance. Why are you here? She asked. Ethan didn't answer immediately. Then he said. Because I was wrong. Her expression didn't change. You lied, she said. I did. You made me trust you, and then broke it. I know. Silence. Heavy. Real. Yuna's voice softened slightly. Then what do you want now? Ethan stepped forward. One step. Careful. I don't want a contract anymore. She looked at him. Finally. And what do you want? His voice dropped. I want you. Her breath caught. But she didn't move. Why? She asked. Ethan held her gaze. Because when I had everything, nothing felt real. A pause. Then. When I had nothing, you stayed. Silence. Her eyes filled slowly. I didn't stay for nothing, she whispered. I stayed for you. That hit him. Hard. I know, he said quietly. And I should have trusted you enough to tell you the truth. Another step closer. Now only a small space between them. I thought if you knew, you'd look at me differently. Yuna shook her head. You didn't even give me the chance. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Ethan's hand moved slightly. Then stopped. Holding himself back. I'm not asking you to forgive me right now, he said. Then why are you here? She asked again. His answer came without hesitation. Because I can't walk away. Silence. Her heart raced. His voice softened further. I tried. A pause. Everything reminds me of you. Another step closer. Now. They were standing right in front of each other. I don't care about the company. I don't care about the name. I don't care about any of it. His voice lowered. I care about you. Yuna closed her eyes briefly. Feeling everything at once. Pain. Love. Confusion. Truth. When she opened them. He was still there. Not moving. Not forcing. Just waiting. That mattered. More than anything. Ethan, she whispered. He didn't respond. Didn't interrupt. She took a small step forward. Closing the distance. Now. There was no space left. You hurt me, she said softly. I know. And I'm not okay yet. I understand. A pause. Then. But I still, she stopped. Her voice trembling. I still feel the same. His breath caught slightly. That was all he needed. Not certainty. Not forgiveness. Just that. He finally reached out. Slowly. And this time, she didn't step back. His hand gently held hers. Warm. Steady. Real. "I'll fix this," he said quietly. "Not with money. Not with power. But with time." She looked at him. Searching. Then slowly. She nodded. Not a full answer. But enough. Outside. The rain began again. Soft this time. Not heavy like before. Different. Like everything else. Across the city, Sophia stood by her window. Watching the rain. Her expression calm. But her eyes distant. "He chose her," she said quietly. No anger. Just acceptance. For the first time. She stepped back. Back in the small house. Una and Ethan stood together. No contract. No lies. Just something fragile. Something real. And for the first time, it felt like a beginning.